Okay. I'm not saying my career hasn't had plenty of insults and slaps in the face. But did they just play the music on me on my own show? At the end of my monologue?
Wrap it up.
Is this what it comes to? Like some doddering, like Peter O'Toole at the Academy Awards? Did you cut me off on my own show just now with the music?
It's over.
It never stops. It never stops. Okay. When you're a comedian, it never stops the abuse, does it, Will?
Get to the point.
Fine, Pat. Oh, that really made me mad. So they finally caught Eric Rudolph. How did he elude authorities for this long? Caves.
What? Caves. That seems to be the way to go. I mean, he was on the top 10 for 5 years, hiding out in the cave. What is it with caves that we can't find out? It seems to me if you want to bomb something in New York City, all you got to do is pack a sleeping bag and go hide in the Lincoln Tunnel for 2 or 3 weeks.
They just signed him for the center square of Hollywood Square. Because all a-holes go into center square. And let me tell you another thing. And let me tell you something. The guys that won the prize for the survivor, he's a true survivor, not these a-holes. That guy's a survivor. You don't have to go no tunnel. Just walk up and down the United States. Nobody bothers you.
That guy was not in a cave. Look at him. He's all groomed. He's got a little mustache.
Why does they got bulletproof on him? Who cares? Who's going to shoot the guy? Forget about it. I'm not going to shoot this guy. They got bulletproof. They got chains here. I need protection, not this idiot. Shoot the bastard. Gung ho.
That's where Bin Laden is in Save-A-Lot.
He was hanging out in Christian crazy nut job homes and hanging around from house to house and house. Look at him. He's all
They're going to find out that about 25 people helped him.
Of course. You ever go camping? I stayed one night at the Delaware River. I came out smelling like bacon. I had squirrel bites on me and poison ivy. One night. This guy 5 years? No way.
I'm really upset about this cop.
Why?
Harassing homeless. Because that's really what he was doing, harassing this poor guy, trying to get some food. And he ended up being a top 10 dude. Yeah. But really what the dude was doing was harassing a poor homeless guy. It's sad. It's really sad what he was doing.
No, it says you're being nice because it's like the 3 Italians and the 1 black guy in the shot. This is like how...
First of all...
Shut up for a second.
Italian, Tom?
Yes,
Tom's Italian.
I'm sorry.
He's like the What, you didn't know he's Italian? His last name's Papa.
Who cares? Let's get back to the bomber.
I got him point.
All right, go to the next question. Come on, I gotta take a pill.
Okay. All right. Okay. The next question is, the FBI is being criticized for profiling criminals in 2 recent cases. The Louisiana killer, Derek Todd Lee, and John Muhammad, the sniper. Both men were black. In both cases, authorities relied for months on the FBI profile that they're white.
Look, can I say
now this? Wait a minute, let me finish the sentence.
I want to say something, man.
We had enough of you.
Look, I want to say something.
Go ahead.
Look, man. In the last year, black people were arrested for embezzlement, plagiarism, sniping.
Because they're good at it.
And wait a minute. They're good at it. All crimes that was supposed to be, and now mass murder. And I just want to say that all black people ever wanted was an opportunity to show what we can do. If given the chance.
Absolutely. If given the chance. Let me explain something to you nice ladies and gentlemen. The best gangsters in the world were Italians. We were the best. Don't let anybody say the black guys are better murderer, but we were the best because we had flair. Black people don't have flair. They can't spell the word. I think, no. Let's go back to the bomber.
All right, Pat.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about the bomber some more. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
This bomber, a lot of people down there are supporting him.
Right.
Speaking of white and black, a lot of the white, rural whites, they feel disenfranchised in some way. They say like poor blacks, and they support a guy like him.
First of all, disenfranchised, half of the people that watch this show don't know what the hell you're talking about. Yeah. Let's talk about this. Who cares? Whoever supported him, let's go on to do other things like cartoons. That's a good point.
What?
The hell do we care? Let's go on. So far, you went to 2 subjects. We're in about, we're like this now.
You wanted to go back to the bomber.
You went back
to the bomber, Tom.
Hey,
pasta bajour.
We all make mistakes.
Pasta bajour.
Pasta bajour.
But who supports them? These people, a couple like inbred crackers down south. These are the same people that are into Christian rock and fishing shows.
And who's to say you can't be enjoying them?
Really? Every nut job has a couple wingnuts to follow.
what are they gonna do?
What's the matter?
You can't beat them, Joyner. What are you gonna do?
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the white guys with it, because ain't no black people only gonna, anything we get our hands over, we're gonna take over. So
Well, I don't like the fact that you're acting like there's the first black serial killer.
It is the first
No,
black
it
one.
ain't.
What about Old Man or something from 50 years ago? Black people don't kill.
How about 2 years ago, upstate New York, that guy from Westchester, the women buried under his house?
They were there. The white dude, he bought it from a white dude. He bought that house from a white dude.
They were already there. Pat, you hear about this guy, Eric Rudolph, they caught in North Carolina?
I'm still working on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Who cares? Let's go on to something else like,
All right.
Here's a good question. Where can you go to still buy suspenders?
The same place where you bought this shirt.
Yeah. You put those in the general store where they caught Eric Rudolph, probably. Now listen. Some relationship we have here. You go watch commercials, I stay here and try to fix this madness. We'll be right back. All right. Okay. Now, in the land of insane lawsuits, Louisiana cockfighters are suing the federal government for banning the shipping of fighting birds. Say it discriminates against Cajuns and Latinos because it's integral to their culture, okay? But is that enough to sell out like a welterweight bout at a Kenny Rogers Rolling Roast? Let me ask you something. Put it this way, if you're an American in the 21st century, you got a chicken downstairs doing push-ups for his upcoming bout. If you think the greatest threat to prize fighting is Frank Perdue, all right? If you can't look at a chicken wing without wondering what his left hook is like, you might be a cockfighter. No? All right. Guys, let me ask you something. Cockfighting. You think it should be outlawed everywhere, Pat?
You want to talk about cocks? Ask the black guy. All I want to... Why don't you just let Louis Anderson do what he does best?
Cockfighting?
Whatever a man wants to do with his cock in a room full of Mexicans is his own business.
Damn right.
Well put. Well put. And right, has anyone been to a cockfight here?
Yes, I was in Puerto Rico. They're not nice.
No?
My father had 2 roosters many years ago. He was waiting for eggs.
Well,
That's the truth. That's the truth. But see, once you see them fight, you go back to eating veal. Because it's terrible. It's ugly. It's really. It doesn't
Why
make
is
any
that?
sense.
Why is
they
that?
put prongs on their legs and they give all these numbers in.
They're not killing them anyway. They're going to die anyway.
They're not going to die.
Yeah, you're gonna fry him
They're not
anyway.
going to die anyway. When do you turn around and become the head of the cocks? When do you become?
I've known a cock or two in my time, and they all die.
I heard about it.
Ever since he got his NBC deal.
The only way they can save their rooster is if you cape on him. Take off his gagooches and that'll be the end of that.
But it's true.
Basta Majul! No, Basta
we
Majul.
kill them anyway, so what's the difference?
You don't kill them anyway. A rooster they try to keep from mating with the hen so we have other chickens, otherwise Purdue's out of business.
I didn't know South Brooklyn was farmland.
Hey, tell you what. We had ducks on a goddamn fire escape for crying out loud. You saw half black.
How big is your old cock?
How mine? Okay. At low tide, I'm still in the water.
All right. Wait. All right, let's look at casinos, yes? Is that okay? Casinos have become an Indian reservation staple. Tribes now have, like, lobbyists. You know, they got big lines of credit. There's rumors of organized crime involvement. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I know there is organized crime involvement. That's true in the world of Indian casinos.
I work casinos, ladies and gentlemen. I swear to you, I have never seen an Indian in Foxwood. Those are the Pequot Indians. I can't even see a kumquat, let alone a Pequot.
And that's what I've been trying to say the whole time. Exactly that. You don't understand, man.
I do
What I'm
understand.
saying.
What do you think? I don't know who runs the casino. You think it's about Indians?
You don't think it's
There's only
Indians?
20 Indians left in this whole country.
Where do you buy a members only jacket?
What's I didn't buy?
I was thinking.
Where are they still around?
He's got a point. They sell them in OTB. Look. Now this is an interesting subject. Pat, you don't like this one. It's relevant.
Finally.
The web has become a forum for all sorts of views, opinions. You know, they have the whole blogs and all these people giving their opinions. So last month, a judge made it a thing saying he forbidden a man from putting negative comments about somebody else on the web. That's interesting. Should there be freedom of speech on the web or no?
This thing's getting boring, I swear to God.
No, there shouldn't be. No, they got to put a limit on it. They got to stop everybody just getting on the websites and chiming off. Have you seen your website, the message board for this show?
Yes.
The things they say about you are horrible.
Yeah.
And really should be stopped.
That's before tonight's show.
But that doesn't make it wrong.
It doesn't make it what?
wrong.
No, it doesn't make it wrong. I mean, don't have a show on TV if you don't want to hear what people have to say in a computer about it. You know what I mean?
Are you attacking Colin Quinn?
Not personally, but I mean, I'm just
He's
saying.
defending all those awful...
Why isn't Pat talking? Pat, do you know there's a computer? I don't like this here web. There's a thing out there called the web. You know what that is? It's not made by a spider. I'm one past the web. You sure? I'm still working on the spiders.
Tell it.
They get on and you talk to each other. Yeah, you don't have to see each other. I forgot the dial phone. Give me a break. Now, I'm not sure if you can type with your car on everything. I'm past already. It's over for me.
It's not the algorithm to type.
What's this computer nonsense?
You're acting like you know all about computers now that you have your IBM shirt on.
Oh, stinks. Well,
terrible.
That's a nice shirt.
I know, but Patrice ever in a polo IBM shirt?
No, but it's kind of like, that's a good look for you. It would be like the black guy in the White Office look. I like
Trying to whiten me up.
Trying to whiten you up.
I came here with my Sean John and they just try to...
You know what I mean? Well, that's less threatening. When you see somebody like that,
He must be friendly. He's coming to fix the car.
Why is Bilbo Baggins continue to insult me here? Somebody tell John C. Reilly to shut his face. Yeah, right.
All right. As Genghis Khan said to the Mongol hordes, we'll be right back. This is the time of year colleges all over the country spit out their new graduates. They prepare to enter the world, but they need honest answers to the questions. Who better to supply those answers than me and my special guest, Mr. Pat Cooper? We went out yesterday, Pat. We talked to some new college grads at New York Tech. Let's hear their first question.
Hey, Colin, what do I have to do to guarantee myself a job?
Go out and go to work. And why you ask me questions for? You went to school to be educated, and you're asking two dummies what to do. Here's the answer. School is not for everybody. Rob.
Well, I was gonna. Let's go on to the next question. We'll get back to that.
Hey, Colin, how come I'm having a hard time finding a job?
Ask the first girl. Hurry up, we ain't got all day.
Hey, Collins, what's more important, happiness or money?
Money. Forget happiness. Happiness is when you die. Money is when you're living. Spend, grab, run, do whatever you got. Forget school. Quit. Go to Europe. Hide.
Well, Pat, it's kind of funny you bring that up because I was going to talk to you about, you've been in the business about, I mean, I make good money at the job, but sometimes I feel like it's just fulfilling, is it?
No, it's fulfilling. Listen to me. The name of the game is surviving. You got a few dollars in your pocket, you're doing good. If you're broke, nobody gives a damn. I tell these kids, I tell my grandkids, don't go to school. That's what I'm going to do. Do what everybody does. Loaf.
But I'm talking about the existential crisis kind of thing,
What is that word? Never heard of that word. See, I'm not educated. What does existential mean? What the hell does that mean? I don't understand. Where you from Hell's Kitchen and you throwing in those big words? I got trouble with the. How does it matter? Because here he's telling me I get bored here, I get bored. Big words, this is not the show for big words. This is the show in the trenches. You dig up a hole and you fill the hole again. That's all this show is about. You ain't gonna go nowhere after that. After here, there's no musicals, it's over. Trust me. Trust me. The new kids are coming along, they dress different. They're pissed off because I got a members only. Who cares? Who cares? I don't believe it.
So, Pat, you're saying basically if
I'm not saying that basically. What are you correcting my genius for? Leave it alone. Let it die. You got the show. I finish here. I got to go and get a club date. What the hell are you worried about? He's got the show 5 days a week. Who's calling me? I'm here to back him up while he gets fired.
Well, Pat, what I'm trying to say is, sometimes you get into that.
What are you trying to say? Would you tell me? I don't know. We're here for 20 minutes. You haven't said nothing that I can turn around and say, gee, I learned something. I'm going to leave here now. I hope it's raining. I'm going to get soaked.
Well, all I'm talking about is sometimes you ever get that, I get that kind of sense of,
I never get that sense. I am the happiest man on the planet here, and you're busting my puzzles. Let it lay. Let it go. Do nice. Go home and say to yourself, why did they pick me and this kid's out of work?
I think that's some good advice for all college graduates.
Right.
Thank you very much, Pat. We'll be right back. Yeah. Take care. You know, many great works have inspired timeless films, I guess you might call them. Works such as Gone with the Wind, Margaret Mitchell, The Godfather, Mario Puzo, and now Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne. What joke from your act could be adopted into a movie, and what would it be about? Pete!
I do joke about how high taxes are in New York City and how we can't smoke anywhere now. Now, my movie would be about a rich guy who becomes mayor, raises taxes, prohibits smoking, and one night he's visited by 3 ghosts, played by digitally remastered Frank, Dean, and Sammy, who tell him to change his ways or that something bad's going to happen to him. He doesn't listen. Next morning, he's coming out of his house. A plane flying overhead carrying a trailer park hits turbulence, and the house lands on the mayor and killing him. All the people in the city start dancing around, skipping while they smoke, singing. And that's the end of the movie.
All right. Patrice O'Neal.
My joke is about my desire to be with a Japanese woman. It's a forbidden love story of a large black soldier and a Japanese college student. One day they're making love at her parents' house in Japan, and the sex gets a little wild, and Kyoko's head pops through those tissue paper walls they have in the house. Then her parents come home, and the rest of the movie is Kyoko trying to explain why there's a small hole in one side of the house and another hole shaped like a big black guy who ran through the other side.
All right.
Mine is based on my joke about disgusting people who ride the bus. It's called Speed, the True Story. There's no Keanu Reeves or Sandra Bullock riding this bus. It's the real people who I have to sit next to on mass transportation. Like Pee-Pee Pants. The guy who wets himself at every turn. Or Betsy Fatass, who smells like pesto sauce and insists on resting her giant blubbery turkey arm on my lap the entire ride. And old Dingbat Joe, who might be retarded or just likes to clap and scream every time the driver honks his horn. There's a happy ending, though, when the bus explodes and these human cockroaches are blown to smithereens.
All right. Hold on. Mr. O'Neal has something to add.
I just want to say, do you feel all warm knowing that Jack Benny's still alive?
Oh.
Nothing? That was...
You on this bus, you pull the emergency brake. Hold on. Pat Cooper.
My son calls last week and asked if he could borrow against my will. Why would anyone make a movie about my life? My life should be made in silent pictures, and then you fill in the spots. Anybody can make a movie. I'm pissed off too many people over. Move the thing. Will you please? I'm going cockeye here. I am now known as the Mount That Roared. The next thing I know, there'll be a contact on my head. The title of the movie can be Scott Peterson and my son take Pat Cooper fishing for Father's Day. There you go.
Now, Pat, you mentioned to me off camera that you got a little information from the show. We took good care of you this morning. Sent you some nice faxes and stuff?
No. I don't know what you're talking about. Why don't you read the damn thing? All of a sudden you put it on me. Read about the sneakers and the footlock. Hurry up. Hurry up. Before I got to do this here, you'll go home and I'll be winding up with this show here. Come on, read the damn thing.
I can't, Pat. There's not enough time. I just wanted to ask you that question.
Well, forget time. These people ain't going to worry about this show. They're not going to go home and clean fish.
You know what the editors do? They're going to want clean fish. Well, folks, I guess this is it.
It is it.
It is it. It's been a wonderful show. What am I going to say? That's the way it is. And
Then you got nothing.
no jokes were harmed during the making of this segment. I guess that's a good thing. What?